Hi YouTube, my name is Disha and I'm a culinary student studying in TUD Dublin, Ireland. And recently I traveled back to India after 2.5 years and I decided to document everything that I eat. Of course, the first thing I decided to eat was vada pav right at the train station in the most classic way, and this was my reaction.
Oh my god!
An hour later, we stopped every single vendor that came our way and had methi tepla. And here I'm showing a pickle packet, which is very interesting to see because they didn't do this before. I think it's safe to say that I thoroughly enjoyed myself. This was food back at home. We ordered biryani and chili chicken because all of us were way too tired to cook anything. This was my dining table back at home. My dad was in the kitchen. The next day, the place I absolutely love and dream about was Pani Puri. They have 5 different flavors and I loved it. Next, we grabbed some sugarcane juice with some salt on top. Cheers to making more memories like these, and I think the most interesting part for me was to see the big machinery that squeezed out the juice, and there was a sense of nostalgia because I grew up around these things, walking around the small stalls, seeing my favorite snacks, and of course the gold-plated statue of Lord Shiva. And oh, those were the stalls where we were. The next day for lunch, my mom made her classic dal rice with some aloo tuk in the form of cubes and some pickle and freshly fried potato chips. Dessert was black forest cake, truffle cake, and an eclair. Dinner was hosted by my grandmother at her house. We had some kachori, which was from Mathura, and you break down the kachori and you put the potato stew in the kachori and you put some onion and some coriander to garnish. And yeah. My grandmother knows I love it so much. Here she's assembling another dish: mung sprouts, some onion, some tomatoes, sweetened yogurt, and this is farsan. And of course, I asked the chef to introduce her dish to me.
Puna misal.
Nice.
The puna misal. Sprout mung dahi is a very healthy food.
Dessert was all-time classic faluda. Breakfast was dal pakwan, and oh my god, this was my favorite thing. It's cracked wheat cooked with jaggery, some water, and you got to have it with papad because it's way too sweet on its own. Coconut juice straight out the coconut. Hi, so I am in my house in India and I think it's day 4 or 5, I'm not sure. But this morning I woke up pretty late because my body is still running on Dublin time, which is a little bit difficult to adjust to. And this morning I woke up, I made green chicken last night, which is like a mint coriander chicken curry. I think I forgot to take a video of that. This morning I woke up feeling like I wanted to eat farsan, which is like traditional Gujarati food. Let me just show you. So this is khaman. That's dahi vada, which is like a yogurt based sauce kind of, and these vadas are made of different types of lentils and stuff like that. This is called idra, it's the white version of khaman, and well, all of this is fermented like lentil or rice or whatever. That's, well, samosa obviously. This is roll kumni. I have very good childhood memories related to this. Like, you see how it's like in a roll. The way I used to eat is spread it out like that and make it like a bed sheet. I know, I was a baby. And that is my favorite dessert of all time. It's called ras malai. And it's like a flavored milk with this, which is mainly milk solids, which are like kneaded into a very fine dough and cooked in a sugar syrup. And well, you get all these small bits and pieces. That's extra portions of chutney with the tamarind chutney as well. Well, the spread looks quite good and I can't wait. For dinner the same day, my parents took me to their favorite restaurant, the Bombay Kitchen, and look how noisy. The menu looked very classic of an Indian restaurant, too many options, different sections for vegetarian and non-vegetarian. My mom got us some masala papad and it was, again, a nostalgia hit. And this is me dying out of the spice. Like a white person, I got some yogurt, but this yogurt drink really helped. After our starters, which I forgot to record, we ordered some main. I ordered mutton rogan josh with some roti.
So like this is one of the many street foods that I've had here. This is one of my favorites and I keep coming back here because this is something that I loved when I stayed here, and because this is located in an area with full of shops and small shops like for clothes and makeup and whatnot, and this is like literally on the roadside of the shops, and this is where people stop by, grab a bite, keep shopping, you know, it's one of those kind of street foods. And ironically it's called Bombay sandwich, and in Mumbai there is nothing like this that exists, so let's see. This is mad, like I can't even see where it begins and it ends, and it's exactly the way we like it.
The street food culture in India is filled with small laris or stalls like this. This one is a classic Chinese food and momo lari. Momos are dumplings, that's the menu. And this was their small but very efficient setup. It was interesting to see after working in a big setup myself. "2025 started with a cake which my mom made and a bottle of champagne.
Thank you.
The next day for dinner, we went to the famous Mirch Masala restaurant, had some pani puri and chat outside while waiting in line. This restaurant was Bollywood themed and the walls were painted with all the actors and actresses I grew up watching and still do. They had a very traditional table setting with traditional copper plates and glasses. The menu was very Bollywood coded with quotes from movies and pictures of movie stars, and yeah. I got some chas, which was very spicy, don't get fooled. And this was shikari murg. And oh my god, jalebi. Hot jalebi, look at that.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And all of those are condiments which are here, and there's 2 types of drinks. And look at this spread. Cannot wait to dive in.
After that big heavy meal, we grabbed some lemon soda, and it's a very big culture in my hometown, a third place to many people, many friends that I know, and a classic. This was food that was served on my way to Mumbai in the train. We reached Mumbai, saw a small vegetable shop, grabbed some small cutting chai with the classic maskaban. Look at the thickness of the butter layer in between. Oh my god. Later that evening, we hit Jai Jawan, which is in Bandra. It's literally in the middle of the market and it's known for its non-vegetarian food. This place started off as a very small stall, and this is the menu. We got fish tikka and some whole fried fish and also chicken tikka, and literally we inhaled the food. Moving on, we also saw the stall of baked sweet potatoes, and look at their whole setup. This guy was selling baked sweet potato with salt and some lemon juice on top. I think it was very interesting to see, coming from Ireland, how potatoes were being used and sold as a snack. went for a small drive to admire the Mumbai skyline. Look how pretty. This was a first for me, milk jelly, and they had two different flavors, the normal one and the saffron one. Weird texture, but it was nice nonetheless. The following day we hit Rustam & Co. for some classic ice cream sandwiches. Later we came across this very cute pan shop, and look at how pretty. Did some walking around, made some friends. I found these amazing fridge magnets which were so food coded for all of my friends here. Later we visited the famous Leopold Cafe. It was one of the cafes that was shot during the terrorist attack of 26/11. We ordered some desserts and looked around, admired the retro vibe of the whole cafe. I cannot even imagine this was the place once that was showered with bullets by those terrorists during 26/11 attack. We spotted some bullet marks from the attack and it made me very sad. This was basically mutton chops with a cheese sauce that was paya and nali nihari. We went to the Nur Muhammad restaurant near the Crawford Market, and this is me trying to make my sister laugh because she's annoyed at me that I made her walk 2 kilometers after a really long day in Mumbai traffic. And Nigel Lawson actually posted about this restaurant on her Instagram. I haven't checked it yet, but yeah. And also a picture frame of a recipe, and that was the end of my trip. Hi. So this is the part of the video that I decided to add very last minute. I'm back in Dublin now, and the whole trip to home, the whole trip to India made me realize just how much food plays a role in someone's life. When I went back home after 2.5 years, everything and nothing had changed. And I kept saying that because everyone was asking me how it is like to be back home, and all I could say is it feels like I'm peeking into an alternative reality because everything's changed and yet everything's the same. The roads are better, the people's hair color has changed. Just one example, it made me feel like I have outgrown my hometown. And I know this is something not everyone can understand, but as an international student, as someone who has left their life behind trying to build a new one, it was a very emotional trip in that sense because so much changed and yet nothing did. There were days when I would feel like, oh my god, this is not my house anymore, or wait, this is what it was like before, but it's not anymore. But wait, I have outgrown that. And I think in the past 2 weeks, being back home in Dublin, I have realized how used to I got to my lifestyle here. And it makes me think that when I left India, the life I left behind and the life I've created now has so much of a difference that the only thing that made me feel like home in my home country was the food I ate. And that's why documenting everything that I had back home made me feel at home. And I think that's something really beautiful to realize and to come up to as an international student, because yes, technically India is home, but I believe the home that I have created in my life in Dublin is what I call home now. But I still feel like an outsider in Dublin. I feel like an outsider at home. I think that's not something many people talk about. Being a student, being an international student, or being an immigrant is hard as is. But when people ask you about your trip, oh, how was India? How was back home? And all you can say was, it was okay. It was good. So yeah, that's it. Anyway, I really want to thank you for watching this video, and I know it's been a while. I started YouTube as a lockdown thing and I never got back. The whole video was a part of my college project and I actually had a lot of fun. I'm not sure if I will be doing this again, but it was fun. Well, thank you for watching. Bye.